Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Romans, Isabella, it is a great honor to be here today with you at the 8th edition of this event on media ethics. For me, it is the third time in Konitz. The first time was on the very first weekend after I had moved to Sarajevo last summer. I came with some colleagues from the embassy to go rafting here. And the second time I was here with some colleagues from the cultural area to visit the former bunker of Tito, which is now a fascinating exhibition of modern art. I'm not sure how many of you had the opportunity to see this bunker, but I definitely would recommend it to all of you. So I've been here for rafting, I've been here to see a bunker, and now I'm here to discuss with journalists, students. And I think the two first events in Konitz were already exciting, but this one will be by far the most exciting one. Let me also point out that before I joined the Foreign Ministry, my dream was to become a journalist. And actually I wanted to study journalism in Hamburg at the Henry Nannen School, where one of the participants of you lived in Hamburg, as I heard. And unfortunately for me, maybe fortunately for German media and journalism, they did not accept me, so then I started to invest in my plan B, and now I am a member of the German Foreign Service. I've been a member of that for 7 years and been working in the Foreign Service so far in Brazil, Germany, North Korea, Nigeria, and now in beautiful Bosnia-Herzegovina. As journalists, it will be part of your job to report on embassies and embassy work. And you can already train that today by asking me questions, and it's part of my job to answer questions from the media, so I'm happy to do that. And I really, as was already pointed out, would invite you to do that, because I want it to be an interactive session. I think otherwise you have already had a very busy day today, and you might just fall asleep if I give you a lecture of 75 minutes about the German foreign policy. So I will just have a few introductory remarks, and then I would invite you to ask the most critical questions you can think of, whatever you want to know about the work of the German embassy in Sarajevo, the German foreign policy, the view of the German embassy on the media here in the country, and then I will try to give you the nicest Diplo-speak answer to that. And you can already practice how to read between the lines then in those Diplo-speak answers you might also get in the future from embassies. So it will be part of your job as journalists to report on the media, to report on the embassy and other embassies, on foreign policy, but it's not a one-way street. It is also part of my job, part of the embassy's job, to report about you. So we write about you guys in our reports that we send back to our headquarters. What we do write about the media, I'm happy to discuss in a moment. But maybe first of all, I want to quickly point out what are the main goals of the embassy. What is the embassy really doing in Bosnia-Herzegovina? We have quite a big embassy, one of the biggest embassies for a country of less than 4 million inhabitants. And in the general public, embassies are often associated only with a very small part of what we do, which is mostly the consular section. Visa issues, help for German citizens abroad. But really, that is not the main work of the embassy. I would say the three main goals that we have here in Sarajevo, in Bosnia-Herzegovina, can be outlined like this. For us, in every place where we are, of course, the main goal is to intensify the bilateral relations. Intensifying bilateral relations is on the political level, but just as important also on the cultural level, economic level, and between the societies. That is something we do all over the world wherever we have embassies. The second goal we have is a specific goal that we do not have everywhere where we have embassies, but very specifically in Bosnia-Herzegovina. And that is something that comes up again and again in all our speeches. It's call the Euro-Atlantic integration. We do want this country to eventually be a member of the European Union, and we want this country to be a member of NATO, and we are sure it will happen. We're not sure when it will happen, and we definitely hope, and I'm sure the majority of the population here in this country also hopes that it will happen in the not too distant future. And we see it as our goal to help the country, to assist this country to move forward towards this membership in the European Union and NATO. We believe that this would be a win-win situation. We believe it is the right thing for this country, but we also believe that the European Union and NATO would benefit from Bosnia and Herzegovina becoming a member. So wherever we can, we try to help, and a lot of our activities in the area of media policy are under that framework. I'll come back to that a bit later. Finally, the third goal that I want to point out is a goal of regional cooperation. We believe that Bosnia and Herzegovina cannot go on its own. It needs cooperation with neighboring countries. And Germany has made great experiences with close cooperation with neighboring countries. After the Second World War, the German-French friendship and cooperation helped us a long way. Since the fall of communism, the German-Polish reconciliation was a cornerstone of the German foreign policy. So we do believe that when it comes to reconciliation, we have one or two things to share, our experiences, and we do believe that this region can move forward together. That is the best way to do it. So we do not only want closer cooperation between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Germany, Bosnia and Herzegovina and the European Union, but we also believe that a close cooperation between Bosnia and Herzegovina and its neighboring countries, Croatia, Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo, is vital for this whole region to go forward. So after these first introductory remarks on our main goals, why we are here and what we are mostly doing here, let me quickly point out our relationship with the media. And that is a relationship that I guess can be described sometimes as a bit of schizophrenic. You might sometimes feel like you're getting mixed messages from embassies. What are the two different things, two different approaches the German embassy and I guess most other Western embassies in Sarajevo have towards the media? Well, on the one hand, we are an institution that has events and activities and wants some positive coverage of that in the media. So we want some nice reporting, and we invite journalists to press conferences, and then we hope for some nice coverage, not too critical, not too critical questions at the press conferences that we organize, but still a big coverage in the next day's daily paper. So that's kind of the positive, nice coverage that all institutions hope to get from the media. But on the other hand, we want something very different from that, and that is critical journalism. We want that because we believe it is vital to get this country closer to the European Union and to really establish not only functioning but also lively democratic culture.